And joining us now for this week's Annapolis Face Off, Delegate Heather Mizeur, a Democrat from Montgomery County, and Senator George Edwards, a Republican from Western Maryland. Thanks to both of you for being with us.
Thanks, Jim.
Delegate Mizeur, you just introduced a bill that would impose a moratorium on a natural gas drilling technique that's known as fracking. Why is that necessary?
In the neighboring states around us that have done this form of drilling, where you have a toxic chemical mixture with sand and lots of water resources used to drill these wells, it has been done with some dangerous consequences. We've heard about the flaming tap water in Pennsylvania, about the increased seismic activity in Ohio, about livestock kills in West Virginia. A lot of states have drilled first, asked questions later, and in Maryland, we want to get this right. The public health, the environment, the local economy in Garrett County is dependent upon us asking really tough questions, getting the answers, and using that information to make an informed decision on whether or not Maryland should drill. We're the only state that sits on shale gas rock that is charting a pragmatic course, and we're going to keep this direction moving forward.
Senator Edwards, how do your constituents in Western Maryland see it?
Well, some of them would agree with the delegate. A lot of them would agree that we already have a moratorium in place, the governor's executive order. You have a commission I think is doing great work. They're finishing pieces of what they were asked to do. My opinion is we need to let them do their work. Once they're done, if someone doesn't like what they've done, then they put a bill in to say you continue it. But part of the process of the delegates bill, and there's a Senate bill, is that well, they think when the commission's done, someone's going to apply for a permit and they're going to get it. It doesn't quite work that way. You have to get a permit and you have to have rules and regulations in place to do that. She also mentioned other states. If you look at the latest EPA on the greenhouse gases from oil and gas, it's way down from 2010. If you look at Texas, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Arkansas, who've been drilling and fracking for years, their experts say they have no knowledge of any water being damaged from that. And by the way, I have some friends in the water well business up home that drill domestic wells, can take you to places and light the spigot now, and we're not drilling for gas.
So Senator, are you saying that your constituents look at what's happening in Pennsylvania and West Virginia and would be okay with starting that up in Maryland?
Starting it up once we get the rules and regulations in place. Everybody wants it done right. The question is, do we have enough time to do that? I think we do. The governor just put $1.5 million in the budget to help forward this study. They came up roughly with a couple $100,000 to do some things, which they're doing. The county's agreed to put some money in to help with some water testing. So they're doing these things. They got the first phase kind of finished. The best management practices have been delayed. I think the final report on that to the commission till sometime this month. So they're doing, I believe, great work, and they're moving forward. Everybody wants it done right. It's a question of whether you need to put a moratorium, which we already have in place, and extend the moratorium.
All right, well, let me ask Delegate Mizeur, is that redundant then?
Not at all. I serve on the commission with Senator Edwards, and for the last 2 years, we've asked a lot of tough questions, but we hadn't had the resources to get to the answers. And it's only this year that the governor has put $1.5 million in the budget, which we applaud. It's a great down payment on us getting the answers in these safety reviews. But there are 18 critical, in-depth areas that need to be studied before the commission will be satisfied that we have the research necessary to make an informed opinion. That's going to cost more than $1.5 million. And what we want to make sure is that the oil and gas industry doesn't use its special interest influence here in Annapolis to say, when the governor's initial study money is done, that, well, we've studied it, time to get us a permit. No. We have to make sure that we keep the resources coming in, that I'd like to see us get more money from the oil and gas industry itself to complete these studies. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we have a risk assessment associated with all 18 areas, that the General Assembly has 18 months to review the final study, and then we can make a decision. Do we have enough information to expand the moratorium? Do we need to ban it altogether because it's too risky? Or do we need to improve our regulations and oversight and allow drilling to move forward? We won't know until it's studied. Just a couple of seconds here. Let me ask you both to look out 5 years. Will we be doing this in Maryland? Should we be doing this in Maryland? I think the jury's still out. We have to figure out what the studies show in order for us to make a final conclusion, and I think we all should not have an opinion one way or the other until the science informs that decision.
Well, I believe at some point down the road we will be doing it. Everybody else is doing it. Yes, Pennsylvania had some problems, but they've corrected what caused their problems. Technology changes every day. You can do the best you can do with the information you have at hand to put rules and regulations in place, whether that's now, 5 years down the road, or 10 years down the road. But as soon as you adopt those, technology the next day changes. So you got to keep changing with the technology to keep your rules and regulations up to date.
Senator Edwards, Delegate Mizeur, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. It's really great to be with you, Jeff.
Thank you.